Certainly, one of the first issues is the issues around the payment for the council that's representing the Judge President. And this is an issue that has been raised with the State Attorney by Barnabas Xulu, representing the Council of the Western Cape Judge President. There is also the issue around the recusal of one of the judges. Remember that there are 3 judges who will be listening into this tribunal, and one of those judges had apparently made disparaging remarks. This is now with regards to a court ruling, the Supreme Court of Appeal ruling, that looked into a matter that related to where the Judge President, the Western Cape Judge President, Judge President John Hlope, was adjudicating a case and did not recuse himself in the matter which involved one of his legal counsels, and that legal counsel being Barnabas Xulu. And after the Supreme Court of Appeal found that the Judge President should have recused himself as a jurist in that matter, considering that he has Barnabas Xulu representing him on various matters, including this matter that is in front of this tribunal today, he did not do that. And apparently the Judge Musi then made these remarks at a function in Durban where there were a couple of jurists, and then said that Judge President John Hlope is prone to making such decisions and going into matters where he should be recusing himself and did not recuse himself. And this is an issue now that's in front of this tribunal, whether Judge Musi should recuse himself with regards to these disparaging remarks that he has made allegedly. And this has not been proven. We understand that a letter has been sent to him to recuse himself, but just looking at some of the name tags that are here, his name tag is here. Another issue is, of course, Courtney Griffiths. Remember, the barrister who's also representing the Judge President, the Western Cape Judge President. His name tag is not here, and if anything, that may be an indication that today's proceedings might stop even before they begin.
Aldo, just take us back. I mean, we know the issue. We know that this has to do with alleged influence or trying to exert some influence. But how did this all come out at the time?
Well, remember that when the Constitutional Court was hearing a matter relating to then Deputy President, President of the ANC, who was Jacob Zuma at the time, that matter relating to attempted, there was a search and seizure warrant that was issued, and the search and seizure warrant, of course, relating to the arms deal matter that is now back in courts at this point. And apparently, according to Justices Besson Kabinde as well as Chris Jafta, Judge President John Hlope tried to influence them, and that's the matter that's being heard at the moment. That did he try to influence these justices, and has that been tested, and indeed that he did try to influence them? And another question is whether jurists and people who judges are allowed to discuss matters that are before them, because this is something else that has been raised before. But then remember that the Constitutional Court then made a ruling with regards to this matter. Even this matter itself, by Besson Kabinde as well as Chris Jafta, who had made an argument around the legality of this tribunal. One of the issues that they had raised before is when you have the evidence leader, which is from the NPA, that this might be an issue of an issue of conflict. And of course, that matter went all the way to the Constitutional Court, and the Constitutional Court did not hear it because of the Constitutional Court at the time saying that they weren't able to correct, considering that there were about 4 justices that may be involved in this matter.
Anything, Aldrin, has Judge Hlope had to say in all of this time over the past 5 years?
Well, he has said various times that he is innocent, and one of those issues that I raised earlier on was that the argument that he has made is, does this mean that judges may not discuss any matters that are before them with other issues of national interest, for instance? What does this mean for them? But he's always said that he's innocent, that he did not try in any way to influence these justices. But what would be interesting is the findings of this tribunal. and whether it would lead to the impeachment of a judge. And this will be one of the first matters in this country where you get a ruling that would say that a judge may be impeached. And of course, we know that this matter will then have to go all the way to the National Assembly, where you'll have to have a vote of about 3/3 of the majority of the National Assembly members who say that indeed this judge must be impeached. But it all depends on the findings of this tribunal.
I understand, yes, that this goes way back to a case that involved former President Jacob Zuma. Are we expecting that he'll be involved in any way in these proceedings over the next 2 weeks?
I'm not too sure whether